Hey everyone, it's Lisa Bongean at Primitive Gatherings here today, and we decided to sneak in a little live because there's so much going on here, and with being off all last week, there's some catching up to do. So we thought we'd come on today and say hi and tell you all the things that you need to know because some of them are pretty important. So I hope you all had a good weekend. I had a kind of staycation at home at Anchor Point. We had family over this weekend, so lots of belly laughs and goofing around and boating and jet skiing and stuff like that, and we had perfect weather. So somebody up there was looking after my plans to make sure they were successful, so I appreciate that. So let's talk a little bit about a couple things that we have going on. First of all, I want to make sure that all of you saw Clue 4 for Oh Say Can You Sew. That came out on Monday, so look for that on my blog. And at the end, I'm going to talk maybe a little bit more about that. So hang around a little bit till the end here to maybe get a little extra info, because you know how I like to give you some clues, right? I like to reward you for watching me. So we will do that at the end. But did you know that if you place an order with Primitive Gatherings, not like a block of the month or anything like that, that we sometimes, most of the time, should be almost all the time, throw in a little sticker. So this one was April's. I don't know if Kaylee can zoom in on that one. So this was April's sticker that you might have got free with an order from Primitive Gatherings, or if you came in the store, they'll put them in your purchases with that. Now, I think these are on sale as well now that they're, if you missed out on getting a free one. So this is Maze, a sheep with 2 needles crossing that says Stitch. How fun is that? And then a sticker that says, nothing haunts us like the fabric we didn't buy. How true is that? So this was June. And July's is so cute. I know you all loved this when we did this as a wool block made into a pillow. So this, we're celebrating America here with our truck full of flowers. So this is July sticker. You still can get this one free if you place an order. And I might be able to tempt you today with some of the stuff I'm going to talk about. So I don't know if the sticker's enough incentive or whatever I'm going to show you, but hopefully all of it, right? Hopefully all of it. So I got the stickers there. I'm going to cross off to make sure I don't miss anything. Okay, so let's talk about the big thing today is we have a fabric blowout sale. So we are doing 25% off of any of our bolted fabrics and our pre-cuts. Our fabrics are a half yard minimum. So please remember that when you put in your order, or if you come in the store, that we won't cut fat quarters for this. This is to make sure we can easily get people out the door fast and easy. So it's from July 11th through the 17th. So if you need backings, like for Oh Say Can You Sew, or any of the other things that are going on, or for the letters for Santa that I'm going to talk about later on, backings are always great to get off at 25% off. And the only thing it doesn't include is garden gatherings fabrics. We pulled those off because that's not fair. We're trying to do that as a sew along for Meet Me in the Garden, so it's not fair that we put that on 25% off if you just bought all that, even though we did give you a percentage off if you bought that. So get online, 25% off all week fabrics, and that should be a lot of fun to shop that. And pre-cuts too. Don't forget the pre-cuts. And I might talk about a few pre-cuts here today. So, all right. Now, July 25th, Moda is going to do a really fun quilt along called Letters for Santa. So it is all about making words out of fabric and making a cool quilt. Kaylee, do you have the quilt up right now? Are they looking at it? Mm-hmm. All right, so if you want to do this, which everybody who's seen this wants to do this, it's going to be monthly, and they're going to release a couple words each month for you to do. And they have a nice variety of words, so maybe you don't like a word, like maybe you don't like tinsel, I don't know, or you don't want to make the word tinsel, or you don't want to make the word Noel or something, you can stick in other words as well. You just have to maybe do a little configuration, but it is going to be a really nice size, bigger quilt. And if you were going to get backing for that, I would think at least 6 yards, 9 to be safe if you want to add borders on it to put it on your queen or king size bed. But Jessica has put together some really fun things for that if you want to get ready. The quilt, we have curated some bundles for you like we did for Oh Say Can You Sew. So we have fat quarter bundles of 12 fabrics that we're giving to you at a special price for $30. We also have the lights in 1 yard because there's a lot of light in the quilt. So you could get 1 yard cuts of 12 for $117. That's the 25% off. So we're honoring that sale price for you and curating these bundles. Now these fabrics are from, most of them are from Bonnie and Camille's Merry Little Christmas line. Here are the teals. And you can pick what colors you want in your quilt. I might just do the red, the green, the cream, and the gray and kind of not maybe do the teal. But those of you out there that love teal, we have those as well. Here are the reds. Now they might not be exactly these fabrics, but for the most part, it's going to be these fabrics. So if we run out of one or something like that, we'll put one in there that goes in there. Just that's what I'm kind of saying. So this is a nice selection of grays and blue grays kind of to go with that as well. So some of them have some little Christmas motifs on it. And then we have the greens. Beautiful green color here. Not evergreen, but not Granny Smith either, kind of in between. So those are the 5 fat quarter towers that we have for you for $30 each. They are already on our site ready for you to order, and you can get them starched and ready to go when the first clues post for Letters for Santa, and that is going to be on the Moda blog is where those are going to be released. You do need a pattern for that, and it's our alphabet pattern. You can order a PDF pattern on our website, or you can get the paper one if you want. Those options are up there as well for Letters for Santa. So thanks, Moda, for using our pattern. We really, really appreciate that. Everything helps, right? Everything helps. Okay, so after that, we also in July, the 20th and the 21st, I'm going to do a quilt class called Lulu the Ladybug. Now, you get to pick what color green background you want for this, and we are going to make Dresden and 1 ladybug. So if you never made a Dresden, come, because this will be so fun for you to see how easy they are to make, and we're going to have a blast. So look for that on our website or our flyer. I don't know if you can print that out, if we can put a PDF in the link. We'll find out, or go to our website or Facebook pages for the gathering and find that out. But it is the 20th and 21st right here, and you stay overnight, and it's $130 per person. If you don't stay here, if you stay here, it's $100 per person plus the lodging rates for whatever room that you pick. And lunch is included in that class fee as well. Okay, so here's kind of a little picture of Lulu. She's getting bound right now, so that's why we don't have it. And then in August, we're going to have our anniversary sale and event where we do tons of make and takes and just kind of have a party. And we'll see what all we come up with for that for you, because we are going to be celebrating 19 years as Primitive Gatherings and 1 year here at Loop Road here in Larson. So we're going to do some make and takes. This one is a hand woven little basket that goes around a little votive cup. Isn't that cool? Gloria will be teaching this. Now we have some sort of deal going on with our make and takes that I just thought of, so let me tell you what it is. If you sign up before August 1st to do it, you get a $10 gift card for the store. So that's pretty cool, right? Another one is vintage old spools on a heart that Scotty has made. And there are several different color hearts that you can choose from. And we'll be making these. I have spools for you, or guess what? Bring yours. Bring your grandmother's spools or whatever you want to use. This is super easy and fun to make for a decoration for your sewing room. And then live camera. We have barn quilts. So we have a couple designs for you to choose from that day that you can paint. You can paint these any color you want. We'll have them pre-drawn already for you on the board, and all you have to do is come in and paint. We also have this really cool wool pin that it would be cool if I put that on my sweater. So how fun is that? And then this little tote, kind of a different size. So those are all the make and takes that we will be doing for our anniversary week. We also will put together some kits after the event. If you would like some of those shipped to you, we will put that together as well. Wow, okay, that was a lot. I gotta take a drink. All right, so I think last thing on my list is to give you a sneak peek on Clue 5 for Oh Say Can You Sew. I know you all are losing your minds over the fact that I told you you need 2 packs of triangle paper. You're like, 2 packs, that's 2,000 half square triangles. No, we are not doing 2,000 half square triangles, all right? So because you're watching and faithful, I am gonna give you a peek at Clue 5 so you can start getting ready. I only ask that you don't post in Stitch on Facebook group about this. You can maybe say something like, hey, we'll post in there about this live and say that there might be some fun thing that you might want in information in this video, but kind of keep it on the down low that we put this out there for only you that watch these videos. So that's your reward for hanging out with us. But one of the most important things is all this information right here. You need to read this and follow this when you're using triangle paper. All right, so one of the main things, the most important thing on here is to shorten your stitch length to half of what you normally stitch at when you do triangle paper. That way the paper will come off super, super easy. And you cut everything, like you cut apart your half square triangle paper and then you press them. So you don't pull off this paper and then press, you always press with the paper still on, and then you remove it by just putting your finger right in the middle of that stitch, and then you pull up in the corner, put your finger in there and just pull that right off. So see how easy that comes off? And guess what? This is a good thing for your husband to do while he's watching the boring baseball game. Okay, so he can help you do that. All right, so we are going to be making 1-inch finished half square triangles. That means at this point, this is unfinished, it measures 1.5. Okay, now I'm going to give you some numbers. I can't give everything away. I can't tell you a ton of, like I can't do a full demo. That you have to wait. But if you're confident and have done this before and can read those directions and maybe find another video from me on how I do my half square triangles, that will really, really, really help. Okay, so we're going to need a total of 1,152 1-inch half square triangles. It's going to make the quilt fabulous, all right? And these are not hard. They're not hard. So I'm making mine right now, right? So I'm prepping. So I left some of my sheets full like this. So I left them intact. And then I cut some of them into strips. And I'm going to show you why I did this. So I've taken my scraps, and remember this quilt was made for scraps. So I have things like this. So see how I have these? What I did is I cut everything 10 inches this way. This width on everything is 10 inches. That's the width of this triangle paper, whether it's one strip or more this way. So some of my bigger fabrics, so like on this one, I can only put one strip on, like this. But I can use up this fabric. Or I have other pieces, like a light and a dark here. See how I snuck 4 of them on? I had to cut one off for this little thing I'm going to show you now. But I snuck that on there just barely. See how I have this little bit up there? And then I could cut this off and still use that blue there. So no matter what configuration your scraps are in, I have done. So on this one I put a couple different lights on. So this one is a different strip than this one and then that one. So I have 3 different lights here on this one. So I'm just trying to use up my scraps. Remember, that's the whole thing. Now look at these big pieces I had here. So I cut that. Now I'll cut this off and I can switch this and put this with a different blue and this with a different cream, depending on how many I end up with when I go through my scraps. So see how I'm doing that? Big pieces here. So I cut everything 10 inches this way. And that's what this is all about. So I have these all sewn. And these I have ready to sew. Now this is not going to be a 4, but I bet it'll be a 3. So I will just trim one of these off, and then that will fit. Now here's another little tip. You need, so when you get your triangle paper, you need 116 of these strips of 10. So whether you're counting how many, like this is a 3. This is 3 strips. The 4 or the singles. You're going to need 116 of that. But this could also be on the fabric 4 times. So that counts as 4. So I hope that makes sense to help you keep track when you're using little pieces like this of how many your 1152 is 116 of those. Okay? I know it's not like cut and dry, simple, easy peasy, because we're not using fat quarters or we're not using, perfect pieces of fabric. The whole idea is to get rid of these scraps. Now, there's still more clues, so I wouldn't use every bit of fabric. You might want to save some of it. So if you do have these 2 pieces, you might want to save this for clue number 6 or clue number 7 if you can. Or if you want to use what you all got and then go buy some more because you ran out, that's an option as well. So do we have any questions on any of that? Are there any questions coming over for that? Jess?
Not for that part that you just did. But
Okay, so I'll let them catch up. Okay, so Jessica has a few little things. The 25% off fabric, no code needed. It should just automatically give you the 25% off. Does it show up in the shopping cart? Or does it show up right when they put it in?
shopping cart.
In the shopping cart at the end. It'll take it off. I should have just read a little bit more. Automatically will come off when ordering. Now the alphabet quilt is a separate pattern than what Moda's going to release. They're just going to release a word to you. And you have to have this pattern to make that word. And the clues will be from July through December. So by December, you should be able to put your word quilt together. I don't think it'll be ready for Christmas, but how fun is it working on Christmas? Maybe you can, gift it to somebody and say, it's almost ready. It's right here. But it's such a cool fabric quilt with all the words. And I like how they change the value of the background. Sometimes I did a red background with a white word, and a lot of times a light background with a colored word. So I really love how they did that. for that. So I'll hang around a little bit here if we have any more questions on the sew along. Oh, say, can you sew? Okay, yes, I did have a little bit. So I do have some scraps like this too that I will cut apart. Like one of these, I'll cut up in half. And one of the other things is somebody said, can I use my thangles? Absolutely, you could use your thangles. But there's a reason why I don't use thangles. It's because I don't believe they're accurate, all right? I don't like how they're engineered because they have a line, a space, and a line between each triangle. Now that's a lot of cutting instead of just having one nice line in between them. So that's why I had to create these, is because I was not in love with the thangles. So all my triangles, here's another little hint. We need 1152, and this is the biggest hint I'm going to give you right here.
Yeah, the product.
All right? This right here. And I'm going to throw out another number for you. I wrote it down. 128 of these, just like this. You can do this. Don't let this scare you. You can do it. You'll be so proud of yourself when you are done with this quilt. And this is all you're making. And guess what size it matches up to? See? So this is going to be clue 5. I can't do a demo. I can't do any of that, but I will do that when the clue releases in August, the first Monday in August, right? That's when that does. You will get all the directions on how I did it. But if you are confident enough to start now, because some of you are, I know, losing your minds over 1152, but this is all you're making right here. And I'll turn it around. I don't even press these open. I press one side, one side, one side, and then I pressed this open. You can do this. It's the same 1/4 inch seam allowance that you're using on your 10-inch squares. All right, just because these are 1.5 doesn't mean that you can't do it. Single hole throat plate is your friend. If you don't have one of them on your machine, I would see if you can get one for piecing little pieces instead of having that oblong opening in your throat plate. The single hole will help you here, and don't be afraid. You can do this. And I'm putting together all scrappy like that, all one direction. And remember, the magic number is 128. Okay? All right, so I hope that helps you with, so here's my clue 4. This just came out, like we said, on the 4th, on last Monday. You need 31 blocks like this. This is clue 1, 2, and 3. If this is all new and you're brand new here, go to my blog and you will find all the back clues there that you can print out. Yes.
All of your half square triangles are blue and white combined, correct?
Yes.
And do they have to be all the same pattern, or can they be all scrappy? All scrappy blues and all scrappy whites?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. I'm doing blue and white, okay? Now, you can make these all the same. You can make them all different. I'm doing it scrappy. That's what mine look like, okay? But if you want to just put one fabric in here, you guys know that I tell you light and dark value, and you take it from there and do what you want. I know a lot of you are doing red, white, and blue, which is awesome. And some of you are doing your own color combinations. So if you're following what I'm doing, so I would do the same color as your blue 9 patch for clue 1. So this, to me, should kind of go together. They don't have to, but mine are. Okay? And there's no rules. Like I said, you don't have to scrap them. You can do them all the same. It'll still look cool. You can do all the same, but there's more than one of these in each block, okay? I don't know how much I can tell you, but if you're going to do things the same, think sets of 4. All right? Sets of 4. Kind of like sets of 4? Sets of 4. So I hope that helps. Okay. Thanks for joining me today. If we have any other questions, I'll hang on for a minute here. I'll take another drink.
What size triangle paper do you need?
1 inch finished. I'll give you, this is what we need right here. This is what it looks like on the website. You need 2 packs because 1 isn't enough. Will you use all of it? No, but 1 is not enough. All right. And you want to use this triangle paper because it's going to be so fast and easy and accurate. But you must layer your fabrics right side together, the light on top, the paper goes on top, then you stitch all the dash lines, shorten your stitch length first, stitch all the dashed lines, cut apart all the solid lines, and then accurately. And if I wanted to show you something I did when I was cutting out my little squares here. Here, right here it is. So I accidentally, when I cut out this one so I could make this to show you today's clue, I accidentally cut off a little bit of this triangle here. So if that happens, and it does, you just put on here, no, don't use this one because this one's short. Because I accidentally cut into it when I was in a hurry doing this. But you're going to cut these. One of the first things you're going to do when you get your paper is you're going to trim all the way around and leave just the solid line there. So I put my ruler at an 1/8 inch and trim away all that excess paper that's on here. So do that as well. And then you can cut them apart if you need them to fit your fabric.
You have instructions in there.
But yes, the instructions are all right here on how to use the triangle paper, or there's some videos on my YouTube channel on how to do it as well. So this is so you can get a jump start because this clue is going to take a while. All right, so don't fret. It'll go fast. They are not that hard if you use the paper. If you're going to sit there and oversize every one of them and trim them down, yes, it's going to take you a million years. Okay? Trust the triangle paper that it works, and that's how I get all these triangle quilts done, is because it is fast, it is easy, it is a no-brainer as long as you can stitch on the line and cut on the lines accurately. That's the only thing. And if you do make a boo-boo, mark it off so you don't use that one later on. All right, so I think that was enough for today. We'll see you on Thursday. Back again, we'll have prizes on Thursday for you, but we just had so much information with being gone when most of us were on vacation here last week. So we thought we'd pop in today and give you some things to work on and to talk about and to shop for. So go get your backings, go get your stuff for letters for Santa, and maybe a backing for Oh Say Can You Sew. Now, somebody asked me, how big is Oh Say Can You Sew? So I think it's a little up in the air. You at least need 6 yards for backing. But if you want to make yours a little bit bigger, or you want to maybe do an alternate border, because right now, I think right now without borders, it's about 80 by 90 something. So I'm going to put a little bit more bigger border on mine because I want it to fit over my king size bed, because it's going to be awesome for 4th of July month. And I'm going to buy 9 yards of backing for my Oh Say Can You Sew, because then I'm covered. And if there's any left over on that end, I can use that for pillows and stuff like that. So that's it for today. If you have any questions, go to Stitch with Lisa Bongean in that group and ask them there, and we will talk about answering those. But remember, no showing Clue 5 until after I post it on August 1st, or August 1st Monday. All right, that's the double pinky swear that we agreed to. I trust you that you're not going to let the cat out of the bag early, but just work on your half square triangles now, because Clue 4 was so easy, right? It was done like that. So I'm giving you a little extra time here to work on clue number 5. And then the rest of them, there's no hard ones left, all right? Clue 2 and 5 were the hard ones. Okay, so you got a lot to work on, you got a lot to do, and you got to go shopping. So see you later, and don't forget, I hope you get a cool sticker. This one for July. Okay? See you, everyone.